Agriculture thrives on rhythm, on seasons that guide planting, harvesting, and growth. For family farms, stability is also measured in generations, built on knowledge passed down, hands-on experience, and a quiet confidence in the land. But in March 2024, one Hamilton County, Nebraska farm experienced a moment that threatened this hard-earned equilibrium. A routine equipment inspection quickly escalated into a life-altering accident, leaving the family patriarch critically injured and the operations in sudden disarray. The farm, spanning over 2,000 acres of crops and livestock, depended heavily on his expertise. Within minutes, the careful balance of leadership, timing, and technical knowledge was disrupted. What followed was a test not only of resilience but of deliberate planning, communication, and the ability of the next generation to rise when the unexpected struck. This is the story of endurance, adaptation, and transformation. The accident that stopped everything. The accident occurred during a standard spring preparation task. Cale Carlson, the fourth-generation patriarch and technical authority, was inspecting a mechanized harvesting system when the routine turned catastrophic. Emergency responders acted quickly, but the severity of his injuries required long-term hospitalization at Grand Island Medical Center and extensive rehabilitation. Suddenly, the farm's operations, which relied on Cale's hands-on oversight, were paralyzed. Machinery schedules, labor allocation, and planting coordination all depended on his expertise, leaving a leadership vacuum at the worst possible time. The accident illuminated a harsh truth. No amount of experience or skill could prevent human vulnerability. The family had built decades of knowledge into one person, and that concentration became an immediate risk. Beyond the personal tragedy, the accident threatened the farm's entire operational structure and long-term viability. A 2,000-acre operation suddenly unstable. With Cale incapacitated, the scale of the farm compounded the crisis. Spanning more than 2,000 acres, the enterprise balanced corn and soybean production alongside livestock operations, requiring precise scheduling, machinery coordination, and labor management. Spring planting, a critical window for yield and revenue, demanded constant attention to machinery, weather, and supply chain logistics. Without Cale, delays quickly multiplied. Contracts for seed, equipment servicing, and deferred payments had to be re-evaluated, while minor errors threatened substantial financial loss. The farm's integrated operations, built around his technical leadership, showed the risks of dependency on a single individual. What began as a personal injury became a structural challenge, highlighting vulnerabilities that had gone unnoticed. Neighboring farmers and cooperative partners felt the ripples immediately, emphasizing how intertwined family farms are with broader agricultural networks and how quickly trust and reputation can be tested. Leadership forced to accelerate. In the wake of the accident, Laura Wilson and her husband Grant assumed full operational control almost immediately. Though they had previously held management roles, the accident thrust them into decisive leadership under intense pressure. Laura, who had trained under her father from a young age, now faced responsibility for machinery, planting schedules, financial obligations, and leased land agreements. Every decision carried immediate consequences, yet the technical backbone of the farm was absent. Grieving while managing operational crises, Laura moved quickly to stabilize production, relying on both her upbringing and education in business administration. Grant managed labor and machinery logistics while she coordinated contracts, suppliers, and communication. Within 48 hours, they transformed from secondary managers to primary decision-makers. The experience emphasized that leadership in family farms is as much about preparation and mentorship as it is about inheritance. Their capacity to act decisively became the linchpin for the farm's survival. The financial impact of a delayed spring. By May 2024, the effects of the disruption became tangible. Early season yield projections fell by roughly 18%, with delayed planting and procedural missteps impacting both corn and soybean output. Supply chains faltered, investors demanded updates, and cooperative partners required reassurance. Laura addressed stakeholders with transparency, explaining setbacks and outlining corrective strategies. Payment schedules were renegotiated, supplier contracts adjusted, and new operational timelines established. Financial survival depended not only on machinery and labor, but on trust cultivated over decades. The farm's credibility, built through consistency and reliability, became a critical asset. Transparency, previously considered secondary to production, proved essential. The family realized that resilience extends beyond the field. It relies on clear communication, reputation, and stakeholder confidence. In adversity, the farm's ability to manage perception alongside production became as important as the crops themselves. A public call for industry safety. In June 2024, Laura addressed the Midwest Agricultural Conference to discuss the accident candidly. She emphasized that mechanized agriculture, particularly in family-run operations, carries inherent risks. Informal practices, often built over generations, can overshadow formal safety protocols, increasing the potential for catastrophic accidents. Laura's message advocated for rigorous equipment inspections, improved safety training, and consistent occupational standards across Nebraska. Her story resonated widely, transforming personal tragedy into an industry-wide conversation. The farm's hardship became a vehicle for advocacy, inspiring other families to examine their own risk management practices. Laura's leadership evolved from internal crisis management to public influence, demonstrating how lived experience can shape policy and industry awareness. By addressing systemic issues, the family's recovery extended beyond their own fields, creating broader impact and establishing Laura as a credible voice for agricultural safety reform. The pressure of silence and expectation. During the second quarter of 2024, limited public updates created speculation in online and professional agricultural communities. The farm, long recognized for blending traditional methods with modern outreach, became a case study in operational risk. Silence risked misinterpretation, while premature statements could undermine trust. Laura navigated this delicate balance, recognizing that communication was now integral to recovery. Public perception became a tool for sustaining stakeholder confidence, and transparency was framed as a strategic asset. Regional publications highlighted the farm's symbolic significance as a hybrid of tradition and innovation. The family learned that resilience required not only technical skill, but also emotional intelligence and public engagement. In an era where information moves faster than crops, managing reputation became inseparable from operational stability. This lesson reshaped internal processes, emphasizing structured communication as a core element of crisis preparedness. Succession planning, tested by reality. Prior to 2024, the farm implemented a structured succession plan spanning 2020 to 2025. Legal ownership remained with Cale Carlson, but power of attorney agreements enabled Laura and Grant to manage operations, sign contracts, and oversee loans. The transition was designed to be gradual, providing continuity without abrupt disruption. The accident accelerated this process dramatically, requiring immediate assumption of roles meant to unfold over years. Responsibilities once managed by a single individual had to be redistributed, exposing vulnerabilities in over-reliance on one leader. The crisis forced rapid organizational restructuring and prompted long-term changes in internal governance. Lessons learned included the necessity of redundancies, cross-training, and proactive emergency planning. The family realized that formalizing procedures and decentralizing authority were essential for sustainable continuity, ensuring that operational knowledge and decision-making would no longer rest on a single individual. A tradition rebuilt stronger. The devastating accident that threatened the farm became a catalyst for transformation. By formalizing roles, integrating technology, fostering community collaboration, and engaging in public advocacy, the family not only restored productivity, but strengthened their operational structure. Resilience became measurable, data-driven, and replicable. The farm demonstrated that enduring legacy depends on planning, adaptability, and shared purpose. From crisis emerged clarity, proving that tradition can be both preserved and enhanced through innovation and collaboration. The story of this Nebraska family farm highlights that strength is cultivated in people, systems, and relationships, not just crops. Even when shaken by unforeseen events, farms rooted in preparation, mentorship, and community can rise stronger than before. The Carlson-Wilson family's journey underscores that resilience is intentional, multidimensional, and capable of transforming adversity into lasting opportunity.